off by laying down a base plate of Aquilonian fence foundations. I had a couple of reference images I looked at before starting this build, so for once I actually came to this build prepared with a solid idea of what I wanted to build and how I wanted to build it. Therefore, I laid out my basic floor plan with these fence foundations, raised the base plate by another tile using more fence foundations, and then covered the base plate using marble castle ceilings from the Age of Calamitous mod, leaving a small gap in the middle for a water feature. I also added a stair set at the front of the villa, and covered the interior floor plan area with stable ceilings for a bit more of a homely feel inside, with a balanced, nicely mid-toned wood. Next, I built the walls of the ground floor. I'd already planned out the rooms of this build in the floor plan I made earlier, so it was a simple matter of including windows and door frames where necessary and building the walls according to that plan. I used windows quite liberally throughout the build, as I wanted to get as much natural light into the villa as possible, including some large door frame windows at the front of the build. I built the ground floor walls 2 tiles high. Next, I tackled the awning-style sun covers across the front courtyard. In the reference images I looked at before creating this build, all of these sun covers had very gently sloping roofs. Of course, that isn't really doable in Kona, so I instead decided upon a 2-tile wide pointed apex awning setup, basically like a mini roof over the interior perimeter of the courtyard. I placed down pillar extensions from the GCAM mod to place pillars in the corner of the ceilings, and then built the pillars up 2 tiles high at regular intervals. This could of course be done with pillars using regular clipping, but I just chose to put them on the edge, either can really work. I then covered the top of the pillars with Argosian ceilings, fenced off the bottom of the awnings, created a small overhang over the front door, and then proceeded to build the roofs of the awnings. I chose to use Argosian roof pieces, as this darker tile works quite well with the white marble of the rest of the build, and was also commonly used on Roman villas, so it fit well. Next, for the first floor. I built staircase sections on both the left and right side, along with a double staircase in the centre of the main hall, and then capped off the walls with stable ceilings. Whilst planning this build, I noticed that Roman villas often had an outdoor viewing bay or balconies, and thus I chose to incorporate one at each 90-degree corner of the build, and thus I changed the floor materials of these outdoor sections from stable wood to marble castle ceilings, to better match the other outdoor sections. I also cut the awnings back by 1 tile so they weren't touching the central building, to allow better flow from the balcony above the main entrance to the side paths. I built all the walls on the central building first floor 2 tiles high, and 1 tile high on the side wings, again including windows regularly. Next, for the roofs. I built simple roofs across the 2 side buildings and then built large sun covers similar in design to those in the courtyard above the viewing bays in each corner. Over the central building, I built a larger and slightly more complex roof, utilising overhangs above the balcony and triangular accents on the roofs to match the style of traditional Roman villas. Overall though, I kept things very simple with the roof designs. Finally, when the shell of the build was done, it was then time to, of course, furnish. Approaching the build, I've lit the villa with Aquilonian hanging braziers, and tried to keep the decoration elegant yet not too overbearing, as the white marble of Argosian lends itself very well to an opulent minimalism, which is what I was aiming for here. In the courtyard, I've included plenty of plant life, along with some water features. Overall, I tried to let the architecture kind of speak for itself in this part of the build, and it definitely remains the main focus for the courtyard. Entering the central building, we reach the main hall. This building comprises of the lounge, one large room where the residents would spend the majority of their free time, which I've again decorated with an elegant yet minimalist style. On the right corner, I've included a small office space that I've again tried to decorate thoroughly. Along with the usual office mainstays like desks, bookshelves, etc., I've also included some storage that I've filled up myself with various items to give the room a little bit of personality. Heading down the right wing of the villa, this is the bathroom. As you already know, I rarely put bathrooms in my builds, but with a villa as elegant as this, I think residents probably deserve a bathroom, even if it is a fairly small one. In the left corner of the build is the kitchen. This is a smaller design than I usually go for, but it still has all the amenities and storage necessary to prepare, cook and serve food, and even includes running water. Inside the left wing of the villa is the storage room. This is where different resources and valuables are safely stored. I've used vaulted Argosian ceilings to create large shelves in this room, using the part of the ceiling that usually slopes down onto the wall as legs for these large shelves to support themselves on. Heading upstairs, we reach the master bedrooms. The bedrooms in this build are designed fairly plainly, and to be honest, I wish I'd made these two a little bit bigger, but I think they fit the build well and managed to fit the decorative style of the villa. In the top right corner is a small workshop area for mixing various concoctions, including a bench for a herbalist and one for an alchemist. In both the left and the right wings of the villa are smaller guest bedrooms. The stairs you saw earlier in each wing connects up to the bedrooms and vice versa, allowing easy traversal throughout the villa regardless of where you are. The top left corner is a small area for relaxation, including some benches and a small brazier to warm the cold nights. Finally, the balcony over the front door provides a great view down to the courtyard. And there we have it, a Roman villa in the Exiled Lands in Map Square J5. Thanks for watching, I've really enjoyed this build, I think it turned out really well. I'm extremely happy with it in terms of both structure and decoration.